Welcome back, everyone. This is the Sports Desk episode 25, and I've screwed up the SpongeBob joke, but that's okay.
25.
How's it going, Jack?
Amazing. I'm in a pretty good mood right now because of a trade the Kings made, but we'll talk about that later when we get to the NHL stuff.
Yeah, we have a packed show today. We got some NFL content, we got some NHL content, got some Euro 2020, got some NBA content. Might touch on baseball sporadically. Of course, we have hot takes as always, and if we can get one lucky viewer, maybe more than one lucky viewer, if we can get a lucky viewer on
Fingers crossed.
On the show, we're going to unveil Squash the Splash. I'm ready. I've been gearing up. I've been doing trivia quizzes on Sporkle the last couple days. I'm ready. And Jack gave me one question, like a little trial run.
He nailed it right away.
Ooh,
like not even a second, and he nailed
beautiful.
it. So he's ready for this.
I am jazzed up for that. So hopefully we can get one lucky viewer. One of you out there, if you think you can squash the splash, if you think you're better than this trophy, I want to see it. I want to square down. I want to put Jack's hosting skills to the test.
They're not good. I don't think they're very fantastic.
Oh man! Speaking of not good, the Dallas Cowboys were not good last year. It was pretty ugly when Dak went down. It just L after L after L after L with Andy Dalton. But hey, you're saving grace. You're gonna be on Hard Knocks. Since 2003, Dallas has been on Hard Knocks twice. 2021, third time. Is it third time's the charm? You know, there's a Hard Knocks curse that these teams never make the playoffs or never good.
I think it's more with the coaches, if anything. I think John Gruden was the only one to not be fired. Him and
that's funny.
Him and was Bruce Arians coaching the?
He was in Indy for a little bit, Cardinals, and now he's in Tampa.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember whether or not he was in Tampa when he was on Hard Knocks. I know the Bucks were on Hard Knocks in like 2017.
I probably would have been the guy before him. I don't remember. I've never watched Hard Knocks. Just gonna be honest with you, never.
Yeah, I've hardly really paid that much attention to it.
Because weren't there Rams on Hard Knocks a couple of years ago?
They were in 2016,
and then
which I guess was supposed to be more of an interesting thing because they're relocating, so they have to deal with all the complexities of that. Jeff Fisher ends up getting fired.
The 1 year he doesn't go 7-9.
Yeah, he goes 5-11.
Oh,
or 4-12.
Yeah, 4-12.
Even worse.
I'm not going effing 7-9. He's right.
No, you're not. You're going 4-12.
Because I think he was 4-9 and then he got fired.
Yeah, 4-9 and then he got fired. 2017, I don't think anything happened. 2018, it was the Browns, so that was Mr. Hugh Jackson.
There was 1 year that Houston was on and they sucked. I forget what year it was.
That was. But yeah. This is the Browns under Hugh Jackson in 2018, so not really much of a surprise there.
Yeah, brutal.
2019, the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll pull up the Hard Knocks list. Because Raiders were on there once. Okay, it was Ravens in 2001, Cowboys in 2002, Chiefs in 2008, Cowboys in 2008, or Chiefs in 2007, Cowboys in 2008, Bengals in 2009, Jets in 2010, Dolphins in 2012. Bengals in 2013, and then you got 2014 Falcons, 2015 Texans. That was the year they sucked. 2016 Rams, 2017 Bucks, 2018 Browns, 2019 Raiders. Last year was Chargers and Rams. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they tried to cram two teams into one.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, Anthony Lynn was the head coach that was hit that year by the Hard Knocks curse.
Oof, brutal. So yeah, we're gonna jump off that.
It's hard. I'll say it's hard to pay attention to it when my favorite team's on there, so I want to pay attention, but also my least favorite team's on there, so kind of don't. There's a lot of looking at your TV for half of it and then going back to your phone.
Okay, how much? Compare your hatred of the Chargers to that of the Cardinals, Niners, and Seahawks.
It's more the 49ers than the other two in the division.
Fair.
I mean, I still dislike divisional opponents, but we've pretty much been destroying the Cardinals since 2016. I think Yeah, 2016, we beat them week 3, and then they beat us week like 17. But by that point, it didn't even matter because both teams were already out. I'm pretty sure, or no? Yeah, I think
The Rams were out.
I know the Rams were definitely
Arizona
out.
had a down year in 16. That was the year Seattle won the division at 10-6, beat Detroit beat Detroit in the. Oh, there was that one crazy touchdown in the end zone. I think. Was it David Moore? Was he in Seattle in 2016? Regardless, yeah, Arizona had a down year in 2016. That was the David Johnson year too. I think they went 8-8.
Yeah, the Rams beat the Seahawks in week 2 of 2016, 9-3.
I vaguely remember
9-3.
Barn burner. Not as good as 6-6 on Sunday Night Football, but it's pretty good.
The place was packed. It was their first game back in LA, so like the Coliseum was full. Compare that to the Chargers' first game in LA. It was like a COVID crowd pre-COVID, pretty much. And then you're gonna have that in the new stadium. It's gonna make the new stadium look terrible. Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. But are you a fan of these new leaked alternate Rams jerseys?
I have to pull this up really fast.
Pull it up. I'm ready. The Rams have some bangers. I actually do like the bone. Just a side note. If I had more money, when we get this show monetized and we start raking in the big bucks, I might buy a Van Jefferson bone jersey.
I don't know where the window went. Hold on one moment.
Or an Aaron Donald blue. Because I like your blues. I get some people are off by the bone that it's not a clear white, but hey.
Well,
I dig it. So
good news is this one is a clear white. So if you can get this pulled up.
See it.
There it is. That's the leak. Not official yet.
I like it.
I'm a little bit let down, to be honest with you, because Andrew Whitworth, he was on a podcast recently, and he was talking about how his quote was something along the lines of, it looked like a throwback or something with the yellow and everything. And I thought it was going to be more in the style of the Greatest Show on Turf uniforms that they wore in like their later years in LA or in St. Louis. They wore those when they won the Super Bowl in 1999. That was kind of the direction I thought it was leaning in. But then he said yellow, and I thought maybe it could also just be a new yellow uniform. Like it could just be all yellow.
Are there any yellow, like just straight yellows? Because
that's a good question.
I don't think there is, because I know we wore mustard pants. I guess Jacksonville had those yellow color rush, ugly.
Yeah, those were weird. Those were mustard.
Like they were all mustard. We had mustard pants when we got bent over by Kansas City in 2015.
Has there ever been an all yellow NFL uniform? That is a good question.
Because not many teams have yellow like colors. Because I'm just like. The Chargers, I don't think I've ever worn just straight yellow.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen.
Oh, the Rams did with their color rush, actually.
Oh,
there you
go.
They wore that during the Chiefs game too. So there was their color rush.
The ketchup and mustard game.
Yes. But yeah, that one was all yellow.
Jacksonville had the mustard color rush. We've worn the yellow pants, like I said. The Chargers, I don't think I've ever seen it. The Steelers have a lot of yellow. The Steelers have a lot of yellow, but they've never worn like an all yellow jersey as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
And for the uninitiated, I have a wall of NFL teams, so I'm just looking over there. I don't think the Saints, their color rush, I believe, was either white. Or black.
It was white. It was white.
The R words, I don't think they've.
The Washington football team.
Yeah. I still like calling them the R words. I'm sorry. I don't think the Niners have worn anything. The Packers, they're usually green and white. Either way, I do like these. If I had to add a Rams jersey to my collection, which would go against my recent jersey purchases, I bought Kaprizov, which made Jack mad.
He'd actually get something that I would like.
Yeah, I could do that. I don't know if I am, but hey, it happens.
That's a maybe. Now, fingers crossed. We have not seen the front of this, so fingers crossed the front is not yellow.
You got the name tag.
That would anger me if they made the front of it yellow. It would be like the Sabres turd burger uniforms where they had like blue in the back and then yellow in the front or something like that.
That just sounds bad.
That would be disgusting.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Like it looks like more like a buttery yellow. I don't know how that would look as like a full jersey. Like yellow, the yellow is a weird color. Like if your favorite color is yellow, I think you should go to a mental asylum. With all due respect,
Penguins fans are
ugh,
not happy at that comment.
I think Pittsburgh in general is not. Well, Pittsburgh doesn't like me in general, so there's that. But
Well,
hey,
there you go.
it happens. It happens. So either way, um, either way, let's move on. So we have Aaron Donald pictured here, of course, and you know one thing he's pretty good at in his career: 7 years, 6 All Pros. That which is crazy to think about that he's one of the most accomplished players in the history of football, and he's only played 7 seasons. These guys,
Getting past those guys.
These are his competition, especially some of the interior, especially the interior guys. So this is the U Stadium top 10. I was in the room when they discussed this, and then Nick made a last-second switch of Trent Williams, Zach Martin. What's your general consensus? I'll throw my list up on the banner.
Trent Williams at the last second, all the way up to third.
Yeah, at the last second, he said, "Javi, I want Williams at 3, Martin at 7," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll just lay back. I'll just lay back.
Just go easy on them." That's probably what you were thinking. If you were to be unleashed at them right now,
Oh, you want Mad Splash? Okay. Well,
I'm not sure I want Mad Spot, but I want like
Well, I wonder what the angriest I've been on the show is. Probably was it Odafe Owe? After we picked him, I was just like morose the next day. I think my grandmother had to turn off the show because I was so angry, which I think is still funny. But
was that on our show or was that on?
I think was it the draft show because the main draft was Thursday, and then like our first round recap Friday, right?
I don't remember you getting too angry at that though.
Was it? Oh, I don't remember what it was. There was something that just infuriated me, and I like sat at the screen talking for 15 minutes. I don't remember what it was.
It was when we were on. It was when we were on Dan's show, and he said the Suns would win in 6.
No, that like I was legitimately angry there. Let me find that because
that's the angriest I've seen you at least.
Yeah, I absolutely. But on like our show, I was pretty sad the one day. I think I named it like the Sad Splash show.
Oh yeah, that was when they traded Orlando Brown.
Oh yeah, that was so.
You were not happy. I don't think you were pissed, but you were not happy for sure.
It was sad. It was sad. I didn't like trading him was fine. Just the second part of the trade was an issue. And I do want to throw out there that I'm a little surprised I didn't see Orlando Brown come up in any discussion. He's a guy that I think it's weird because when he was in Baltimore, I don't think people like really thought he was great. Like I thought the general consensus was he's a good right tackle and he was a good left tackle. But I think as soon as he went to the Chiefs, people were like killing Baltimore for it. It's like, why did you trade this awesome left tackle? Doc, if you thought he was awesome, tell us he's awesome while he was in Baltimore. It's like what CJ Mosley when he went to the Jets. I remember at Nick Spano when they released their top 100, I said there's no way CJ Mosley's on this list if he's in Baltimore. And Nick was like, LOL, you're just a salty Ravens fan. Well, Mosley's played 2 games for you guys in 2 years, so I think I'm the happy one now. But I like the list, and you guys see mine going on the bottom. The top 9 for me is the same. And then I have Scherfin over Wirfs. I love Wirfs, don't get me wrong, but 1 year at right tackle. And yes, Wyatt Teller's up there for 1 year, but he was far and away the best run blocker in football last year and arguably the best player in football last year, up there with Aaron Rodgers and Derrick Henry. But I think you start with Nelson, and this has actually gotten some backlash on the app that Nelson isn't the best guard. I'm going to lean Nelson. I don't think he's not miles better than Zach Martin. I think both of them are spectacular Hall of Fame caliber guards. On the U Stadium list, they go Bakhtiari 2, Trent Williams 3. I think you're missing Rodney Stanley there. And I know he missed half the season, and I know I'm a Ravens fan. I get it. But in terms of pass protection...
Didn't Trent Williams get hurt?
Trent Williams is healthy. Bakhtiari, I think, tore his ACL. So he should be back for week 1. Stanley, of course, got hurt. He should be back for week 1. Williams was unbelievable for San Francisco. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason he's number 5 on my list. But when it boils down to it, Ronnie Stanley is the best pass blocker in the NFL. If you are the single best pass blocker in the NFL, you deserve to be up there. And he's a pretty good run blocker. Bakhtiari, he's probably 90% of the pass blocker, maybe a little bit better run blocker. Trent Williams is a devastating run blocker. Also an awesome pass protector. But I think at a certain point, you have to value this. And I know I watch all of Baltimore. Like, I can kind of like pick and choose when I watch other teams. I still watch every game, but I can like pick and choose what I remember. Baltimore, I watched every darn snap that Ronnie Stanley has played the last year and a half. There is no better pass protector in football. And even if you throw out all the design stuff that we do with Lamar, you throw out all the play action, you just get a pure pass blocking set. Ronnie Stanley's number 1. It's not Bakhtiari. It's not Trent Williams. It's not Garrett Bowles. He was awesome this year. It's not Tunsil. It's not Ramczyk. It's not Armstead. It's Ronnie Stanley. And he's 5th on the U Stadium list. Okay. I think he's better than that. I think he's a guy that
he should be at least top 3, maybe top 2.
He's my number 3. Nelson, Martin, Stanley. Then I have Bakhtiari and Williams right there because I mentioned this in our discussion that the difference between, say, Nelson, who's number 1 on the U Stadium list, and Zach Martin, who's number 7 on the U Stadium list, is not too big. The difference between Martin and Scherf, who's not even on the list, he was top 15, but not in the top 10, is not that big. Like, Scherf was an All-Pro last year, deserving All-Pro last year. And it's the kind of thing that there is so much an ebb and flow, so much this guy's top 10 this week, this guy's top 10 next week. There were legitimately 7 different offensive linemen I could have argued were the best in football at a certain point last year. You know, Nelson at a certain point, Bakhtiari at a certain point, Williams at a certain point, Teller at a certain point, Stanley at a certain point, Martin at a certain point. Wirfs was perhaps the best player in the playoffs. Like, encapsulate the playoffs. Think about every superstar you can imagine in the playoffs. Tristan Wirfs might have been the single best player, better than Brady for sure. You know, Brady didn't play well all 4 games. Wirfs did. Wirfs was phenomenal. And I with offensive line, there's like maybe 15 or 20 guys that I think you can throw into the top 10, and that's fine. Corey Linsley, he's a guy that I believe was in the fan vote. I have him just outside the top 10. I love Ragnow. I said Ragnow would be an All-Pro heading into 2020. He played like an All-Pro. Just Corey Linsley was a little bit better. So I'll take a victory lap on Frank Ragnow. But there's like 20 elite offensive linemen, maybe 25 elite offensive linemen in football, and here are 10 of them. And if you have a different order, that's fine. This is not one that I get. I don't know. I do think Stanley is the best pass blocker in the NFL and the best left tackle in the NFL. But hey, if you take Bakhtiari, like the U Stadium listed here, or Trent Williams, or Tunsil even, well, I guess Bowles, he was awesome last year, like I said earlier. But this is one that I'm not going to get too bent out of shape over. Now, wide receivers, I will die on the Tyreek Hill as wide receiver 1 hill.
Yeah.
But hey, any words, Jack?
I think you pretty much covered on all. I'm not much of an offensive lineman guy. I mean,
it happened.
If anything, what I should have been doing was pushing for Andrew Whitworth to make the list, but he's old, so.
Yeah, I mean, Whitworth had a good season last year. Like, PFF graded him pretty well. He was good, but
he was hurt though. He missed half the year, and like, what is he entering? Like year 16? 39.
Whoa, his age 39 season, I think.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Brady might play 39 years. We can have a conversation about that.
Jesus.
So,
but yeah, Whitworth has said there's a chance he retires this year. So after this season, he already took a pay cut.
Whitworth is a great player, probably like a Hall of Very Good player. I don't know. He has 1 or 2 All Pros with Cincinnati. I think he had one with the Rams. So it's one of those things that I'll throw it to David DeCastro for a second. Steelers
I love Teeks' comment.
This is true. It's like David DeCastro, awesome guard for a decade, but is he necessarily Hall of Fame caliber? I don't think so. And it's really hard to be a Hall of Famer on the offensive line because you have to be so consistent because
you have to like explode on the scene pretty much.
Yeah, like Quentin Nelson is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. He is a All-Pro year 1, All-Pro year 2, All-Pro year 3. Zach Martin is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Those are the only 2 guys that I trust will be Hall of Famers. Bakhtiari, he's awesome, All-Pro. I don't know what he's going to do moving forward. Trent Williams has like 8 Pro Bowls. I don't know if he's going to earn more All-Pros. Ronnie Stanley is coming off a huge knee injury, and so is Bakhtiari. And even like Bitonio, I love Bitonio, but is he necessarily a Hall of Fame guard? And that's one thing. There's a lot of really good guards. I think Nelson and Martin are above the rest. And then at a certain point, then like maybe 3 through 15, like I said, can be the best lineman in the world at any given point. So
you just have to pay attention to it. You have to pay really close attention to it. Like if I'm watching a football game, like I'll pay attention to the guards and like know how they're doing and what. But my focus for the play is going to be on the ball. So
yeah, and I think this is when rewatching games for me helps. It's like I want to first enjoy it as a fan, and then I'll rewatch it. Watch it on Game Pass or whatever, and just like immerse yourself and say, what is Bakhtiari supposed to do on this play? What is Lindsley supposed to do? What is Elkin Jenkins supposed to do? Jenkins is nice. He's going to be really good for Green Bay this year. Might be an All-Pro. Green Bay has an early offensive line. Also, Detroit, Taylor Decker. Shout out Taylor Decker. And Jack actually mentioned before the show, no Penny Sewell on this list.
Yes. The reference was because last week we talked about the top 10 tight ends. Kyle Pitts was on the list before even taking a snap in the league. We think Kyle Pitts is going to be good. It's pretty much similar exactly to Penny Sewell. We think he's going to be a good player. That doesn't mean he's top 10 yet just because he hasn't taken a snap yet.
Right. Absolutely. I think we had the he should play like wide receiver conversation last week. But either way, Pitts is going to be good. Sewell's going to be good. Darisaw is going to be good. Best pick in the draft, by the way. Rashawn Slater for the Chargers is going to be good. I know you don't want to hear that, Jack, but there's going to be a lot of good players. But this is heading into 2021. Yeah, that was probably Derwin James was a pretty awesome pick when it happened because I was all over.
Assuming he stays healthy.
Yeah, if he could friggin' stay on the field because he has 21 games of being the best safety in the NFL, and he's missed 27 games. Whoop-de-doo. Well, let's head to a little colder climate. Up in Montreal, we have some hockey tonight. Tampa Bay leads 2-0. Our resident hockey stan, Jack, break it down.
I mean, Montreal's got to get back in the series in this one, plain and simple, in front of their home crowd. Not a full capacity crowd, unfortunately, because Quebec did not allow them to have. They were looking at expanding the capacity to maybe like 10,500 or something like that. But like I said, what was it? The night before last night on the recap show. Yeah, on our live reaction show, we said that it won't matter because Habs fans are just going to gather around the building like crazy and have their watch parties, which is fine. Sure. But yeah, Montreal's going to get back in the series for sure at home. While they are still at home, I think they have to win a game. Now is the time.
If they don't, they'll be swept 4-0 and we won't be talking about it next week.
Pretty much.
I think for our sakes, we need Montreal to win a couple games so we can have something to talk about next week.
Exactly. And I actually want them to win too. Like I'm kind of rooting for Montreal here. They're the scrappy underdogs, came in behind a lot of teams in terms of their regular season record, and then just went on this miracle run after going down 3-1 to Toronto. And then the Leafs being the laughs, as we like to call them.
The Maple Lulls.
Pretty much.
Or Maple Laughs, whatever you want to go with.
What was I going to say? There was one other thing I was going to bring up. Their coach, Dominic Ducharme, however you pronounce it, he is back for Game 3. He missed a big portion of the playoffs because he had COVID. So he was out for a long time. I think after game 1 of the Vegas series was the last one that he played. And then he's been out ever since then. So it's a really good time for them to get him back. Alex Burrows has been helping out with the coaching as well for Montreal. He said that he actually gave a speech to the team after they lost the game. After they lost Game 2, reminded them that his own team, Burrows' own team, the Canucks, in 2011 were down, or they were up 2-0 over the Boston Bruins in the 2011 final. Sad. And then the Bruins won that series in 7, and Vancouver proceeded to riot because
that's
what Vancouver does, apparently. which
See,
is not.
That's a downer. That was some bad news. We actually have some good news for your Kings. Tell me about some Victor Arvidsson.
Yes, we'll move on to that. Victor Arvidsson has been traded to the Los Angeles Kings in exchange for a. I had it up on the ticker, and the ticker never got brought up.
I'll do that. 1 second.
It's a 2021 second round pick, so this year, and the 2022 third round pick. That is a steal for Victor Arvidsson, who is going to be a top 6 player in LA. He's going to be a scoring winger, which is something they need. He had kind of a down year last year. I think it was just because it was just an unlucky year. He was kind of snake bit is the word that I saw used on Twitter. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is an insane trade for the Kings for once. Like they needed a deal to go in their favor. They needed something like this, and they got it done. Victor Arvidsson they're making a very safe bet that last year was just an anomaly. He's going to score a lot more. He's going to stay healthy. I feel like staying healthy is really important because I think he only played like a good quarter of the season, I want to say, this past year. I don't know for sure, but he's definitely a scoring player. He's got a lot of talent. He could fit in very well under Todd McClellan. So it's a good deal. And I think Nashville likes it too. They get picks to build for their future. It looks like Nashville is kind of heading towards a bit of a rebuild.
Yeah, because the Kings are on a bit of a rise, moving forward. You can get back to the playoffs soon, especially when you're not playing Vegas and Colorado, 8 times a season?
They'll still be playing Vegas a lot.
Well, yeah, of course. But
Pacific Division, assuming the NHL goes back to normal next year, but
which I would imagine they do, bringing in Seattle, because you'd have an imbalance like a 9-8-8 then Canadian division. I don't think you want to do the Canadian division again. Either way, the Kings are on the come up. The Predators are on their way down. You have some older players, the remnants of that 2017 Cup final team, the Pecorines of the world. The Pecorine is too good right now. Shea Weber, right?
Yeah, Shea Weber. He's on Montreal now.
Oh, okay.
They the trade was Shea Weber for PK Subban.
Oh, that's right. And then Subban's now with the Devils?
Yeah, the Devils. And then
okay, that was a
Shea Weber's in the final, so there you go.
Hey, it happened.
But yeah, Victor Arvidsson, I love this deal for both teams, but I especially love it for LA. I mean, obviously that's biased, but it's for once they make a good trade, and they need it in the middle of a rebuild. Last thing before we move on to NBA, because I see you have the NBA bracket pulled up. The Minnesota Wild extended Joel Eriksson Ek today. It was $42 million over the full term of the contract, 8-year deal.
It's a long
I don't hate it.
Time.
It's a long deal, and I don't hate it. I think Eriksson Ek had, I don't want to say a breakout year, but I definitely was not hearing his name a lot before this year for sure. And that also could be because we played the Wild 8 times this last year. But he's been a scorer. He has a lot of goals this past year. I think I need to look up his stats real quick.
Because when I think of the 2021 Minnesota Wild, you jump immediately to Kaprizov and then the goaltending.
It's the goaltending for me.
Yeah, well, okay, Jack.
Nah.
Hey, at least when Kaprizov goes back to the KHL, then you don't have to have a hate boner for him anymore.
Exactly. Assuming he is in their priorities, so assuming that. But let's see. Eriksson Ek played all 56 games, 19 goals, 11 assists, 30 points. Plus minus of 16. That's not bad. I like the plus minus of 16. That's it's a career best, honestly. So I like the deal. I think it's all right. They get to lock up one of their scoring players for the future. Minnesota is coming up. They're getting up there for sure. I mean, whether or not Kaprizov goes back to the KHL, I mean, they still have a lot of talent on their team. Kevin Fiala is up there. Matt Dumba is up there. They're in a pretty good place right now. I think that's a really good signing for them to get Eriksson locked up long term. And of course, like you said, the goaltending. Cam Talbot is just ridiculous. If it wasn't Carey Price versus Andre Vasilevsky in the final, I've still been saying it too. I think Marc-Andre Fleury versus Cam Talbot has been the best goalie matchup of the whole playoffs.
That was an epic series. I know my boy Kaprizov lost in Game 7. I'm sure Jack was throwing a party there in California, but hey,
He scored. I wasn't throwing a
Yeah,
party.
he
I was just
scored.
like,
He
just
did
get
score.
this
He did
series
score.
over with. You got his
Oh,
reverse
my
retro
boys.
jersey for cheap, so he has to be your boy now.
It's like
Just,
what, $50. That's fine. Any more
I will admit, a
jerseys?
reverse retro jersey at that low of a price is a pretty big steal. So
For sure.
you win that round, I guess.
Speaking of a steal, we had a thievery. Is that a word? We had a theft.
Thievery.
Theft is definitely a word. Thievery, I have no idea if that's a word.
It's a word. I think
We
it's a
haven't
word
updated
anyway.
bracket yet. Henry can get on that when I message him in the chat because I forgot this existed. But hey, Italia. The Italians won today. They beat Belgium 2-1. And the Spanish prevailed on PKs over the Swiss. Now we get Italy-Spain in a semifinal. This is a juicy matchup. Spain, of course, the perennial powerhouse. They dropped 5 on Slovakia a couple nights ago.
5.
Yeah. They had a wonderful comeback against Croatia in a 3-3 game. They eventually won 5-3 in extra time. Or they were down 1-0, scored the next 3. Croatia scored 2, and then Spain struck twice in extra time. And they beat the Swiss today. Now I want to give some airtime to the Swiss. They were down to 10 men with about 20 minutes left, and this is Spain. You're talking about this is a heavy possession team. This is a team that gets a lot of chances, a lot of shots. Jan Sommer had Tim Howard, 2014 against Belgium. He was that good. He had a Euro record 10 saves today, and it's tough to see Switzerland lose in penalties. Of course, they beat France on penalties just a few days ago, 5-4. Kylian Mbappe. Sommer saved the critical Mbappe penalty, but
I can't think of anything more like nervous than penalties, honestly, in soccer. Like,
I mean, it's in soccer, absolutely. In sports, I mean, the only thing I can think of is really a game 7.
Yeah,
maybe like
game
hockey
7 overtime.
Game 7.
Game 7 overtime.
Like, I think that's
hockey.
the only thing that really compares. I mean, extra innings in baseball in a game 7. We've only had one overtime in the Super Bowl, and of course, overtime in with football. I don't know.
Overtime in football isn't really that like. It's like more of like fingers crossed we win the coin toss.
Yeah,
and then score on the first possession. Because if you lose the coin toss, you're just praying for an interception or something like that.
Absolutely.
And then
I think it's probably penalty kicks, then game 7, NHL playoffs, overtime, and then NBA probably. Then baseball, like I think with baseball and football, there's always, especially with baseball, there's never a finality to it. Like you can, if you're the road team, let's say, and you score 3 runs in the top of the 10th in game 7 of the World Series, you still have to defend your 3 runs, right? And then in football, it's really dependent on the coin toss a lot of the time. At least in basketball, there is a ticking clock, and at least in the NHL, it's goal and goal.
It's sudden death.
Once you win, right? And
yeah,
I can't remember the last game 7 game winning goal. I know the Kings had a double overtime? Was it
Alec Martinez?
Yes,
in game 7 or game 7. He actually did score in game 7 against the Blackhawks the previous series. He scored in game 7 to win that series. That was in single overtime, and then double overtime winner in game 5 of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that is like the penalty kicks in soccer.
I was like vocally screaming at that game.
Absolutely.
It scares you anytime that I think in that game, actually, what's his name? Someone, I think it was Rick Nash. I'm not 100% sure, but someone on New York had an empty net to win the game and force game 6. And it just hit a defender's stick. Like he swung out his stick in desperation, and it just made contact with the stick and prevented an empty net goal in game 5 double overtime, where your team can win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, like we could talk about game 7s for forever. I'm gonna bring it back to the Euros. Tomorrow we have England, Ukraine, and then Czech Republic, Denmark. I'm going to lean with the English over Ukraine. Ukraine was impressive against Sweden, although Sweden did get a red card late in the match, so Ukraine could pile on the pressure.
And do I count as Sweden because I'm wearing the Rams and they're blue and yellow? So
I mean, Ukraine's also blue and yellow.
Oh, there you go. I don't know. I'm just making the IKEA joke again, pretty much.
Yeah. There was a joke that Zlatan Ibrahimovic is more famous than, was it ABBA driving a Volvo to IKEA? It's like the three most stereotypical Swedish things besides probably Swedish Chef and
Swedish fish
and meatballs. Ooh, okay.
Swedish fish are good.
Swedish fish the number one candy. So guys,
of all time.
When I get a PO box up in New York, send me Swedish fish.
Same. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get a PO box, but send me Swedish fish, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm
but yeah, tomorrow I'm rocking with the English. I think they continue their tremendous streak. They haven't a lot of goal. As far as I remember, they haven't a lot of goal in the Euros. And then you bring it home because
it's coming home.
Yeah, Wembley semifinal, Wembley in the final. And look, if you're Italy or Spain, you just had tough match after tough match. And I don't want to disrespect Ukraine. I don't want to disrespect Czech Republic. And I don't want to disrespect Denmark. But England is the clear favorite in whatever team they play next round. And, of course, Ukraine this round. And I honestly had them favored over Germany. Germany had not looked great outside of like a 15-minute stretch against Portugal. England has looked really polished. You have the Jack Grealishes of the world. I've been following him on Instagram since 2016. He's been my guy, even when he was at Aston Villa. And you have the storylines. You have Schick of Czech Republic, and then you have Denmark. After their captain died, this is a good point that Martino made on the show yesterday. Check it out on the USTADIUM YouTube. The Danish captain died and was resuscitated on the field during a match. And Denmark is here. Denmark is in the last 8. Hats off to the Danes. I believe
that's absurd.
Yeah,
he died and then
he was dead for 3 minutes, and then he gets defibrillated. I don't even know if you can use it as a verb.
I'm in my video game state of mind. I almost said resurrected.
He was really. He
pretty much was. Yeah, he pretty much was.
So, with all due respect, I hope Denmark can beat the Czech Republic, and then I would be all down for an England Denmark semifinal at Wembley. And it does suck because Christian Eriksen, the Danish captain, is a superstar player in the Premier League, and he has been for 10 years now. And he wouldn't get to play at Wembley in a huge match. But I think what we're all looking at is Italy, England. And Italy hasn't won a major trophy since 2006, the World Cup. England hasn't been to a final at a major tournament since 1996 World Cup. They hosted, of course. And these are two teams that they really, in my lifetime of watching soccer, they have been probably the two biggest choke jobs ever. Like Italy in 2010 is riding high, reigning world champions. They blew it at 2010. They scored 2 points. I still remember they had one game against Slovakia that they were in a group with New Zealand and finished last. I think that says it all. England, they didn't make Euro 2008. They got massacred in World Cup 2010. They didn't win Euro 2012. Oh, wow. Eriksen's, wait a minute.
I did not know whether that was true. I forgot to bring it up. Teeks is saying he's in Series A, however you say that.
Okay, I'll take the L on that one, but he did spend a lot of his career at Spurs. Regardless, England blew it at the 2010 World Cup, didn't win Euro 2012. The 2014 World Cup was a disaster. They were in the same group as Italy. Both of them failed to make it out because of Uruguay and Costa Rica. Are you kidding me? Two soccer powerhouses in Costa Rica, Keylor Navas. Just what are you doing? Like what even are you doing? And then 2016, you lose to Iceland. Great story, but Iceland, come on now. And then the 2018 World Cup, you finally make that semifinal. Then you blow it to Croatia. You lose to Belgium. You ended up with 4 wins and 3 losses in that tournament. Now, granted, 2 of them were to Belgium, who is that team you might be staring down the barrel. Can Belgium win 3 key matches in a row over England? I don't know. This might be England's time.
Yeah, it might very well be coming home.
Yeah, it may be coming home. But at the same time, this is the perennial choke job. Martino talked about it yesterday. There's a reason they haven't been to a final in 55 years. I can do math, I guess. 55 years, no finals. And this is, when you play FIFA, this is one of the big 9 countries. All of those other big 9 countries outside of Portugal and the Netherlands have won a World Cup, and Portugal and the Netherlands are consistently really good in major tournaments. Portugal won Euro 2016. The Netherlands went to the final in 2010, were third in 2014. Of course, they didn't make the World Cup in 2018. I believe they do have a Euro. I don't recall the year, but I believe they have a Euro. But you're talking, England is a soccer powerhouse. This is a key 3-game run for them. They must beat the Ukraine. They must beat probably Denmark, and then at a certain point, I think, honestly, as talented as Italy, as talented as Spain, go out and beat them. Win the Euros, and then you have all this momentum heading into Qatar next year, and you can go do the Spanish double, essentially, win the Euros, then win the World Cup like Spain did in 08 and then 2010. So I'm running out of saliva to talk. So let's.
Didn't know you were this into soccer.
Yeah. Well, I did screw up the Ericsson thing, which is a bummer, but hey, that's okay.
Well, the most I can offer about soccer in general is just MLS. I got to watch Austin FC play their first game, score their first goal at Q2 Stadium, is their new stadium, which, by the way, is going to host the Gold Cup later this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he plays at Inter Milan. Okay, I didn't realize that because he had played at. Okay, this was a recent thing. Last year or so, he moved to Inter. Okay, so
not only was that
one.
Not only was that.
Good stuff, Tixa. Hey, Tixa, do you want to come do some trivia with us?
Now's your chance.
Yeah, now
you're here all the time. You might as well join. I was gonna say.
I posted the link on the app.
Austin FC scoring. It was their first game. It was their first goal. They played 2 games. They were scoreless games at Q2 Stadium, their new stadium, and then they scored 4 against Portland last night.
Good stuff.
That was really good, and I love what they do for their goal celebration. Like, they turn the lights off, and like all the stands are just glowing green. Like, fans are like carrying drums that glow green. Like, everything possible that can glow green glows green.
Cool.
They have smoke going. I like how it was a night game, and I think it's really cool how they just shut the lights off and place goes crazy. That crowd was insane. That crowd was absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love to see it. I probably should get into MLS more. I know Atlanta United was really bad last year, like uncharacteristically bad. Granted, they've only been around a couple years, kind of like Vegas or the Golden Knights. Like an uncharacteristic.
Except here's the difference. Atlanta won a title.
Yes, they did. I don't know. My Atlanta United hat is somewhere over here, but yes, they did. MLS champions.
2017, I believe, MLS Cup or 2018.
I think it was 2018. Maybe 19. I don't know. There was
it was definitely before 19. I know 19, 20 were both 19 was Seattle.
Okay.
Or was it 18 was Seattle too? I know Seattle, I think, won back to back, and then Columbus won last year. So I don't know.
Let me see. Atlanta United won they were 23rd overall last year. Jeez. They began as an expansion team. Yep. Okay. MLS Cup 2018. You were right.
There you go.
Anyways, we got some NBA stuff to talk about. Both of us hate these 3 words. Suns in 6. We're just gonna take a moment.
You can see the cringe right now. Just
the Suns have won 2 out of the 3 series in 6 games. They beat the Lakers, of course, in 6 to start the playoffs, and then both of us said, "Hey," after game 1, "Hey, don't worry, the Lakers are still going to win the title. Looks like the Suns are going to win the title." It's pretty sad. I don't want to say sad. I'm really happy for Chris Paul. I'm really happy for Devin Booker. Like, I'm really happy with everyone involved with Phoenix.
Here's what I'll say about the last series. I'm just happy they beat Patrick Beverley. Like, that guy attacking Chris Paul, I think it was, for no reason. Yeah. Like, oh, gee. And, like, that's not to name all the dirty stuff he's done with against, like, the Lakers and other teams before. So we already know that guy's basically a dick. So
yeah,
I'm not sugarcoating it. I hate Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, it happens.
Fuck him. He's out.
You and yeah, so Phoenix advances in 6. The Eastern Conference Series, Bucks are leading 3-2, even without Giannis. No Trae Young for Atlanta.
Who, thankfully, by the way, Giannis did not have any structural damage with his injury. It was pretty scary to see.
I was devastated. Let me see if I still have the picture. I saw a picture of his brother, Thanasis, and here it is. Like, pure devastation. I cry more often than the average male probably, but I was in tears seeing tonight. I didn't even, when Giannis, ouch, that sucks for Giannis. And then I see his brother, it's like, bloop.
Oh, when you see his brother react to that,
it's it just kind of means
you just watch your
sports.
Absolutely beyond sports. You just watch your blood relative get almost lose his leg pretty much.
Mm-hmm. That's beyond sports. That was really scary. So I hope Giannis. I wish him the best. I hope he returns to the finals, assuming they beat the Hawks. And Tixa, the only reason I'm going to tell you you're wrong is it might be Suns in 5. So we're going to have a new NBA champion for the potentially new NBA champion for the third time in 6 years. That'd be the 2016 Cavs and the 2019 Raptors. So yeah, it's
definitely a shot. I'm not really rooting it. I feel like I did when the Rams lost to the Packers. I was disappointed, but I wasn't really rooting against the Packers. We lost to the Suns. I'm not really rooting against the Suns. I think it's a great story. It's a shame because I know we could have won had we been healthy, but it at the same time, it's still a good story for the Suns.
Yeah, and I think the list of just injured players, you're talking Mitchell missed time for the Jazz. Conley missed time for the Jazz. CP3 missed time for the Suns. It didn't end up mattering. He was a 3 seed. Jamal Murray missed the entire playoffs with a torn ACL. Kawhi missed a series and a half. Dallas, I think Dallas is pretty healthy, but they only played 7 games. Was Portland. Portland was fine. The Lakers were missing their second best player for half the series. Memphis, Jaren Jackson Jr. was healthy, but not really back. And then you go through the East teams. Giannis is out now. The Sixers were pretty healthy. I think Embiid missed a little bit of time. The Hawks have been pretty healthy. Oh, Trey's hurt now. The Celtics missed Jaylen Brown. The Heat were pretty healthy. The Nets were missing Harden for half the series, Kyrie for most of the playoffs. And say what you will, the Suns may have been the best team. They were, as far as I'm concerned, they were the second best team to me behind the Lakers. And it just sucks to see these contending teams just, why didn't you win the title? Well, our second best player died. Well, I don't want to say died, got injured. But with all due respect to the Phoenix Suns, if they win the title, they deserve the title. I'm just a little bummed out that we're getting a Bucks team led by Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday versus a Hawks team led by Danilo Gallinari and John Collins. That's your Eastern Conference Finals. And it just kind of sucks. And I hate to be a downer about it, but it just kind of sucks.
It is pretty shitty. It is an unfortunate situation with all the injuries going around, but that's what you're going to get when you get a 72-day off season.
Yeah, good point.
The NBA, they rushed it. I'd say they rushed it probably more than any sport to get back after.
Absolutely. I believe the shortest offseason in the Big Four history, of the Big Four sports. So Major League Baseball, National Football League, National Hockey League, National Basketball Association, shortest offseason ever for those 4 sports. And
definitely not the shortest of all the
right.
I watch a ton of sports, one of them being NASCAR. I'm not ashamed to admit. So call me a hick in the comments if you want. They had a 7-week off season or break when COVID happened, and they still managed to cram they do 36 races a year, and they managed to cram all of them into the year. So they during their COVID year.
Well, I want to move on to some happier stuff. So we're gonna bust out our good old friend,
the hot take meter,
our friend of the show.
Hopefully, we are able to squeeze a little squash to splash in there. I don't know how it's looking.
Hopefully, I just pushed it out. So hey, If you want, drop a yes in the comments. If you want to join the show, you want to test me. I'm not technically reigning national champion, but the national champion. This is a trophy for sports entertainment trivia. If you want to come test me, or I'm game for it, just drop a yes in the comments, and I will get you the link. So I know Tixa, I have your number. I have Michael Potts' number. Shout out to my uncle. Austin, I can tag you on the app. I just pushed it out on the app. So hey, you want to
Join
come?
us.
You want to try to squash the splash? You come do it. Come do it. I'm all game. I'm all game. If I lose, you get your moment in the spotlight. If you win, or if you lose, then you take the L. If you get the dub, then I'll take the L. So pretty simple. And I love the hot take-o-meter because the hot take-o-meter is pretty simple. Tixa, would it work on your phone? Absolutely.
It will absolutely work on your phone.
Yeah, just click the link. I pushed it on the U Stadium app right about here. Right here. Scroll down. Oh. Right there. Tap.
You're in.
And then it just hits some you should be able to join the link. If you just hit the link, then you go over to enter broadcast studio. That screen should come up. Yeah, I'd love to see you, Tixa. And then just I can put myself in again.
Oh boy.
As an example. That was a bad idea.
I don't think you should do that. We don't want to risk your internet dropping out. There's 2 splashes now though. Yeah.
So again, you can hop in on your phone, you can hop in on a laptop. But while we're waiting, see if we get anyone. Let's do some hot takes. Tixa, let's hopefully you can join us. All right, here we go. Are you prepared, Jack? These are some hot ones. I looked them ahead of time. These are some. Yeah, he
mentioned some ahead of time, and I was like, oof.
Okay, we're gonna start a little softball. Not softball, just non-sports. Chef Squill, back to the boneless wings comment a few weeks ago. They are technically sauce nuggets. I didn't get to have the full quote in there. Now, I get the people who don't like boneless wings. If you're calling them sauce nuggets, that sounds like chicken wings. Like sauce nuggets, that sounds like bomb. Like you get sauce, you get nugget. Oh my goodness! Like I just about died and went to heaven. Sauce nuggets?
I've never heard of that before.
I've never heard of it either. But that sounds good. Like, hey mom, go make me some sauce nuggets. Like if I went to a restaurant and they sold sauce nuggets, I would absolutely buy them. This is I don't know where this would fall in the hot take-o-meter. Okay, Jack, if you pick a sauce for your wings, like what's your go-to sauce? Are you a barbecue guy? Are you a lemon pepper? Are you lemon pepper Lou? Are you a spicy guy, buffalo?
I'm definitely not a spicy guy. It would probably, if I did, and I don't even really eat wings that much, so.
Yeah, I prefer sauce nuggets, man.
I don't know. I really don't know. I got nothing on this one.
See, I like barbecue. Barbecue's always good. Hawaiian is fine. Teriyaki is good. I do like a little bit of heat though, so I could rock with some buffalo wings. Like when I get back to Arizona, I'll order some buffalo wings. I'm cool with that. All right. With that said, friend of the show, Tixa has one. The Diamondbacks will turn it around and have an above-average July. What are you thinking?
I don't know. I really don't know.
They started the month 1-0. They started the month 1-0.
They did. Has he arrived?
We have a man named C. I don't know. I'm going to ask him to turn his camera on. Mr. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
Okay, that was bizarre. Anyways, I don't know who that was. It could be from anywhere. But the Diamondbacks are 1-0 this month. That's a big start because last month they were awful. I think they won 4 games all month, like 4-23.
4 in a month, my God. Yeah. I you know what? I think they'll turn it around. I don't know about the above average July. It's pretty hard to do worse than 4 in a month.
Yeah, people were saying that after May. They went like 8-20 in May. It's like okay, they'll be better. Then they were worse. They like ascended. They went to the the 1-31 Browns
There's
levels of ineptitude.
There's a difference though. Like, yeah, it's harder to go worse than 4 than it is to go worse than 8, if you know what I mean.
That's true. That's true. So I do think Arizona is going to turn it around. Again, above average, I don't know, but if they go 10-15, I think that's a success. If they go, I don't know how many games they'll play this month because the All-Star break. I don't know. If they go 9-12, I think that's fine. If they're a couple games within 500, that's fine. I mean, you are going to probably lose out on the number 1 overall pick, although Baltimore did sweep Houston, which was one of the stranger things that's happened recently. But I don't know. I don't think the Diamondbacks are the worst team in baseball. I think Colorado might be. I think Pittsburgh might be I think Baltimore might be. Arizona is not as bad. They do have some guys injured. Carson Kelly's out at the moment. Ketel Marte has been battling injury the entire season. I don't think he still doesn't qualify for the batting average title, but I think they'll turn it around. I'm going to say this is like a Serrano take. It's hard to be that bad. Above average keeps me from going like jalapeno bell pepper, but I don't know. Now, we got one for you, Jack. Here we go.
Here, I'm going to read this out. This is from Nick L.
This is a big one. This is a banger.
This is probably the most biased hot take I've ever seen. I'm just going to get that out of the way now. Cardinals win 13 games and take the division.
Yeah,
there will be 5 new playoff teams this year. Arizona, San Francisco, Minnesota, someone in the AFC East not named the Jets, and the Chargers.
Okay, that one just sent me the not named the Jets, because for the uninitiated, if you found this show without being on the U Stadium app, first off, join the U Stadium app. Second off, my bosses, Jack's bosses, are Jets fans. Most fans on the app are Jets fans. There's about 5,000. I don't want to click off, but there's like about 5,000 Jets fans, and like most other teams, like the Ravens have a pretty solid fan base. It's like 2,000. The Patriots have a pretty solid fan base. It's about 2,000. Eagles, 3,000. Giants, 2,000. Most people on the app, if we did like a pie chart, right, and each person said, all right, what team are you a fan of? I would imagine about a quarter of it, if not more, would be Jets fans. They're called Jets bots on the app. These are the kind of people that end up getting 10 or 12 likes on Jets posts. So that's why it's so fun to troll the Jets, because 1, the team kind of sucks. 2, there's so many annoying Jets fans. Jack, I'm sure you've come across some when you covered the AFC East for us.
That was a long time ago. I don't remember too much of that. There was I covered the AFC East for maybe about 3 weeks, I want to say.
Yeah,
it was not very long, so I can't say. I don't remember the last encounter I had besides when the Rams lost to the Jets last year, and we did like a little one-off show.
You can't troll the Jets.
We did like a little one-off show with Nick and Frankie, and like we got to talk to each other directly about how frustrated we were.
Yeah, I remember that. The good old days. That's now private, so you can't watch it. But hey, that's okay. So,
I wish I could watch that back again.
So Cardinals 13-4.
No. No. I'm not.
Okay, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know if I agree as like harshly as you do, because you're probably going to put this Pepper X.
No, I'm not going to put this Pepper X.
Okay.
There are some parts of this I do agree with. The Jets will not make the playoffs this year.
No,
that's a guarantee. I'm sorry, Zach Wilson stands.
I'm sorry to Luke and Clay. I still can't. The day that they said the Jets were going to go 8-9, like on the schedule release, I was about to pull all my hair out, because like, how are you gonna what?
No.
Anyway,
they're not. So that's the Jets out of the way.
Yeah.
I actually agree with Minnesota making the playoffs.
Yeah, I love Minnesota this season. I love the roster, their development defensively. They have a really good offense. I love Dalvin Cook. San Francisco, I think that's fair. That's fine, whatever.
That's a big maybe, though, because we say it every year, and it kind of proves to be
Super Bowl, Jack. It's like the year they were remotely healthy. 2018, they had a crazy amount of injuries. 2020, they had a crazy amount of injuries. The year they weren't injured, like the year they had like 70% of their starters, they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. They
They need new trainers at this point.
That's really what I was going to go to. Is like they just need to be healthy. Is the bottom line. All they have to be if they could stay healthy this year, I fully agree they can be a playoff team.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, we're both on the Minnesota boat. We're both. I think we're going to be on the San Francisco boat.
The thing is that I go to, and I say every year, is like the NFC West.
Yeah,
this is the best division in football. It's the most competitive division in football.
For sure,
every team has superstars. Every single team, and like, how do you like? It's really hard. I say like this could be the year. I said this last year though, and I'm saying it again this year. It could be the year that every single NFC West team makes the playoffs. But that's just so hard.
Because
it's so hard to make that happen.
Although there are 17 games now, so you're not playing. You're still playing the 6 divisional opponents, but you're getting 11 out of division opponents. And the Cardinals get the Browns. And actually, the Browns are probably going to wallop them.
The Browns are probably better than that.
Yeah,
and
the Browns are absolutely better than the Cardinals. But say the 49ers, think of the Bengals. With all due respect to Joe Burrow, San Francisco is better than Cincinnati. So
the true spiciest part of this take is the first part, them winning 13 games and taking the division.
Then I forgot he had the Chargers in at the end, and you're probably just internally punching the screen.
That, first of all, I want to get to this Cardinals part. That will not happen. They are not going to win 13 games. I'd have them maybe going 10-7, not 10-7.
Yeah, I could see them.
Maybe 10-7 actually. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's hard.
They went 8-8 last year.
I say it out loud.
There's an argument they have win 9 games if Kyler's healthy against the Rams.
I say it out loud, and 10-7 sounds a lot worse than 10-6. So I'm still getting used to this new schedule length.
For sure.
It's definitely weird. It's fun, but it's weird.
Yeah.
The Chargers making the playoffs is honestly a coin toss. Like, honestly,
I think they do. It's just
not being biased. It's like I don't know why. I feel like the
Raiders. Why is Denver a favorite like that? Okay. With all due respect to the Orlando Brown conversation and all due respect to the Suns and 6 conversation, why is Denver ranked above the Chargers? Like what? Like in what universe is it?
I was about to mention the Raiders actually. I don't know why.
I haven't seen the Raiders. I have seen the Broncos. Like I've seen betting sites say, "Yep, the Broncos will be better than the Chargers." I understand there's like a part of it that's Aaron Rodgers could go there, but I think. Unless you know for a fact Aaron Rodgers is going to be the week 1 starter in Denver, why are you betting on Drew Lock? Sorry for headphones users. Why are you betting on Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater? Why are you betting?
Splash the piss again, guys.
Why are you betting on? Drew Lock is one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen in my life. I watched a lot of bad quarterbacks. Trust me, I'd watched Joe Flacco for 10 years.
I know it's Jared Goff. Okay,
he was the epitome.
I don't think he's Drew Lock bad, but that's bad. Okay. I get your pain.
You think Jared Goff is a statue? Joe Flacco couldn't move. At least Jared Goff had some athleticism. He just never showed it. Joe Flacco was a statue. The man could not move, and Joe Flacco was considered like an average, occasionally above average quarterback, elite in the 2012 playoffs. But Drew Lock, I kind of have a reputation on USTADIUM as like not liking the Jets, which I think I've earned, and not liking Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's legitimately an awful quarterback. He has hope though, because he was with the Jets, and now he's not with the Jets. Drew Lock, with all due respect to, I've said it with all due respect like 10 times now, Drew Lock is one of the worst starting quarterbacks that a team could actually start in 16 games. Like I'm not counting Jamarcus Russell. That was great.
Remember that one time forever ago when I accidentally, I forgot that Jamarcus Russell was the first overall pick, and you called me out for it. That was a long time ago. I don't know why I remember that.
I don't recall that. But why is Drew Lock your starting quarterback? I actually might have to yank this clip and put it on YouTube. Drew Lock is so bad. Like I promise you, 2018 Josh Allen is better than 2020 Drew Lock. 2018 Lamar Jackson in the playoffs is better than Drew Lock. Drew Lock has one remotely competent game in 2 years as a starter. One remotely competent game, and it was against the Houston Texans in 2019. Granted, that was a playoff team, but hey.
Okay.
Look, Jack could throw for 300 yards against the 2019 Texans. Are you actually having a laugh? Okay. Feel
So
free to say before.
we've gone off about we're staying on this take. We've gone off about Drew Lock enough, but I was also going to look at some of the divisions outside the AFC in terms of like will the Chargers make the playoffs?
I mean,
You have obviously the Chiefs are the number one. They're the consensus number one.
Right.
Baltimore, I think, gets in.
Baltimore and Cleveland probably.
Cleveland, I think, gets
Baltimore is. I hate this is the worst part of the offseason because everyone overrates the Ravens. Everyone okay, that's a story for another time. Everyone overrates the Ravens.
Oh God,
but they underrate Lamar Jackson. But hey, that's beside the point.
Tennessee.
Tennessee's good. Indianapolis is good.
They should be fine.
I think and then Miami, New England, Buffalo.
Miami, New England, Buffalo. I think Miami gets in this year.
I don't know. I need to see it out of
Buffalo for sure. I don't know why.
He was coming off a major injury last year, and he didn't know the playbook. So I do like Tua, and without the injury, I would have had him over Joe Burrow. And I don't want to say I'm wrong on that one, but Burrow's been unbelievable.
I don't know why I always forget about the Bills.
It happens. The guy on the app earlier said he was ranking the New York teams by their futures, or he said all of them had good futures, and I'm like, hey, what about the Bills, the team that has the MVP caliber quarterback, the team that just went 13-3, just went to the AFC title game? Yeah, what about them? Anyways, speaking of the Jets, we have Jets fan AV22. I play fantasy baseball with him. I'm actually going to beat him in points. Hopefully, going to beat him in points this week. Although he's probably throwing things because he's a Yankees fan. He says the Panthers will win a playoff game. No. I'm going to say habanero here. I don't think I actually gave a ranking for Knicks. I can see all of them happening. I can see them happening. The Cardinals winning 13 games is a bit of a stretch for me.
That's Carolina Reaper. I'm not going to put it at Pepper X. I don't think it's completely.
It's a Carolina Panther Reaper.
Ha!
That's a knee slapper right there.
Fire.
We got dad joke. Yes, Splash was fired.
Oh, he's gone. There he goes.
Okay, let me organize that.
Yeah.
Okay. Panthers will win a playoff game. I don't know. I'm gonna go habanero. I like the offense. I still don't. I don't trust the defense. I don't trust the offensive line. I guess it's an upgrade on the 2020 Jets offensive line, but it's not much of an upgrade. Like you're talking, it's Taylor Moton, and what exactly? Like there's no Trey Turner. He's gone. Russell Okung is he still your starting left tackle? He wasn't great last year. So I don't know. And then the defense, like I love Burns and I love Jeremy Chin. I was going to buy his jersey about a month into his NFL career, but I don't think they have the defense to win a playoff game, and it's a tough division. So you're going to have to go on the road. I don't think they can out Tampa, and bring in this new quarterback and then just go wild card to the Super Bowl. So
especially if that new quarterback is Sam Darnold.
Yeah, everything I said about Drew Lock applies to Sam Darnold, except he's in a new place. And I think that
there's a chance for him.
Yeah, there's a chance. And not my rule. Joe Brady. I think Joe Brady is an awesome offensive mind. I know Carolina fans have mixed feelings about him because there's good things and bad things. But last year, remember, your quarterback was Steve Bridgewater. I guess Sam Darnold's not really an upgrade, but I guess it could theoretically possibly be an upgrade. I don't think the Panthers.
It's one of those wait and see type of things.
All right. Moving on. This is from Nighthawk. He says, I'm the best user on USTADIUM. What? I
think everybody thinks they're the best user on USTADIUM.
I don't know. I know we had a contest that one day, and I think was it Adam and Daniel? I think I don't remember. I'll have to ask Daniel about it, but yeah. Sorry, bro. I don't think so. I don't think the app would agree with that. So
the app doesn't agree with much, honestly, unless you post like a Colin Coward take.
All right, we have a couple more. Let's try to get Austin.
AV is shouting me out on the app right now. Sam, he's saying a lot of. He says a lot of disrespect for Sam Darnold after you dick your team.
Valid. That's a W there, Andrew.
He's still angry that we robbed him of Trevor Lawrence. Chestnut checkers. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
It happens. We have a couple more takes. We're gonna try to get Teeks on the show.
Bottom line, all I've said is Jared Goff was worse that game.
Yes.
I'm not calling Sam Darnold good, but Jared Goff was astronomically worse. How do I pronounce the word?
It happens.
Moving on.
Cactus Whack. The Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl. I've had my fair share of interactions with Mr. Cactus Whack over here because he is a diehard Peyton Manning fan. And yeah, we've had quite a few arguments about Peyton Manning. But I don't know. I don't actually hate this. I might bet it. I don't know what the odds are. I might put $1 on it, but I don't think so. I need to see the defense. It's one thing to project that they're going to be really good and win the division. It's a whole other thing to say, yep, they're going to win the Super Bowl. And I haven't seen that defense play at a level that I can say, yep, if they lift the Lombardi in February, I would not be surprised. There are just a handful of teams that if Kansas City wins the Super Bowl, Tampa wins the Super Bowl, and I probably throw the Rams in there at this point. If any of those three teams win the Super Bowl, I'm not surprised. I could probably throw San Francisco and maybe Cleveland. I need to see more out of Baker. But Buffalo, of course. But I need to see another year out of Josh Allen. The Vikings are in that third tier of.
We need to see more out of more than just one guy.
Yes. All right. So I would say probably Scotch Bonnet. Like, I think they have a shot at it. Maybe lower Tabasco. I would say, like, if you said Chiefs, Bucks, Rams, I'd probably go Milk or Bell Pepper. Then if you say like Niners, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Serrano, and then maybe we'll go Tabasco for this one. We'll go Tabasco. Cactus Whack. This is not the worst thing that's come out of your mouth.
All right.
And then we got our last one. Tixa, hit us up. All right. Okay. Okay. That's fine. So I found an all right spot to set up my phone for trivia, but it's outside of the construction. It's kind of loud.
I don't think it'll be too huge of a deal unless it destroys our ears. Let me read this last one. This is from
Let's hear it.
Josh C. So it's another biased take apparently because Josh is a Niners fan. And he comments Pepper X. Jimmy G has a career year and Lance only plays in garbage time /final week.
Look, I think it would be objectively stupid for the 49ers to start Jimmy Garoppolo this season. You are taking the L if you are starting Jimmy Garoppolo this season. At any point, I think Trey Lance should start week 1. I also think Justin Fields should start week 1, and I think Mac Jones should start week 1 in 2022.
I will say I have liked that Kyle Shanahan has not pulled a what's his name? Who's Matt Nagy? He has not pulled a Matt Nagy and said, there's no possible scenario in which
that was just weird.
When he said that, I was like, I'm ready to celebrate Victory Monday already, pretty much. I hate to sound cocky, but like,
you're going to be
Andy Dalton is not going to beat a defense led by Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey.
Granted, the Rams did lose a couple pieces on defense that are now, of course, naturally in this Cleveland secondary. Thanks.
It's Cleveland, though.
But we said that about the 2016 Cavs, and they won the title.
We did. I mean, you never know.
I'm wearing a Cavs shirt underneath my jersey too. So,
he's going all out on the Cavs today.
Actually, so that'll wrap up the hot takes. I'll take that down. So we're gonna try to get Tixa on. Hopefully, he can hop on. But actually, this is the ensemble I wore when I won national champion. I think I wore a red
prepped.
Shirt. Yeah, I was prepped. I was prepped for this. You know, I pride myself on the pointless knowledge of sports trivia. I don't want to say I'm the best at it, but I'm pretty doggone good at it. I've certainly met people that have like photographic memories, so they can remember, I don't know, the third string quarterback at Georgia in 1980 when they won the title. But I think it's good enough that I win. I know Georgia won the title in 80. I know Herschel won the Heisman in 82. Shout out to my mom. She's a big Georgia fan. So while we're trying to get Tixa on, I have a question for you, Jack.
Go ahead.
So with college football and the name, image, and likeness rules now that players can make money off their name, image, and likeness, pick out of these three players, who do you think would have made the most money in college? USC legend, Heisman Trophy winner Reggie Bush, Florida legend, Heisman Trophy winner, 2-time national champion, Tim Tebow. Reggie Bush also won a title. Or 2012 Heisman Trophy winner, Johnny Manziel.
That's a good question. I'm not much of a college guy, so it's pretty hard to say.
I just think cultural impact. Like, who would be if you watched a commercial? Who would the most likely one be?
If I watched a commercial today, one of the first guys I'd probably see in that commercial is Johnny Manziel.
I guess that was probably a bad question. I think while he was at A&M, I think Tebow and Reggie have more, especially Tebow, because
Tebow's
I'm from the
impact
South,
has been
course.
insane. I know that for sure. And he's trying to come back as a tight end, apparently.
Did you see Brandon Jacobs is trying to come back?
Did not. Oh,
but
boy.
So I would argue for Reggie Bush because he's playing the largest market that has a reputable football team. That's LA with USC. And at that time, USC, I'm going to draw the parallel to Alabama. This current Alabama run with Saban, you associate it with Saban. You don't associate it with McCarron. You don't associate it with Ingram or Henry or Smith or Heisman Trophy winners. You don't associate it with Tua or Hurts or Mac Jones. They're highly picked quarterbacks. You associate it with Saban. A decade of dominance, 12 years of dominance now, all Nick Saban. When USC was rolling over everybody and were 41-point favorites against Stanford, it was Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, and Reggie Bush.
If you don't know where to go, just wait. It'll.
Okay, Tixa, I'll get to you. So go to the post I made on the app and click the green link. Let me. Okay. Yeah. So the green link right above the picture. So click that, and that should put you in.
In the meantime, who do you think should be on the cover of the NCAA game? I know they're bringing back college football soon at some point.
I got to go with the collage here. Like, you missed a lot of years. I'm thinking you get, I don't know, Watson and Lawrence maybe. Obviously, Burrow for sure. Maybe Burrow. I don't know about Burrow with the cigar. That would be a pretty dope cover.
That would be funny. They're not going to put him with a cigar on the cover, but that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you get like Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. Hey, Austin's here. So we'll wrap up this conversation. Jack, you can get your hosting hat on, but I think you got to go with like a collage cover. If you're going Burrow, Lamar, Baker, shout out to the AFC North, Devontae Smith, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. I think you have to go with like a collage cover.
Yeah.
Because you've been gone for 10 years or almost 10 years at this point. So at this point, we have a new segment. This is the first time in a long time we've had a new segment. It's called Squash the Splash. I'm going to get Tixa up and Jack will run it. Let's run it.
There's the man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Is my mic working? Like, is everything good?
Yeah, we hear you.
We're good.
Right.
So, Jack, walk us through trivia today, buddy.
Okay. Pretty much what's going to happen is it's just going to be like a one-on-one trivia battle. So I'll basically, how many questions do we want to do? Do we want to do 5 or 3?
We can try 5. We can try 5.
So I'll do 5 questions.
5 questions for each, right?
Yeah. Okay. Or just 5 questions. I can do NFL. I can do NBA. We can do whatever. We don't have to do that many because we're kind of over time right now. So
you want to do maybe 3 each?
Yeah, we'll do 3 each.
Okay. My hands are away from my laptop, so I'm not Googling anything. My phone's down, so.
All right. Hoping you know the answers to these. Here's what I'll do, actually. I'll arrange the cameras like so. I'll do that, and then I'll...
That's good.
How do I get rid of the brand? I can just turn
I'm probably
going
to be really bad at this. I am not good with trivia at all.
It happens.
Fingers crossed. Okay. NFL question coming up first.
And Tixa, you can take the first one. You get to answer the inaugural Squash the Splash question.
All right. Which team, this is an open question, by the way, no multiple choice. Which team has had 4 first-round picks in an NFL draft?
They're
racking their brains, folks. I can hear this silence, like cutting in and out on your ends.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I got. I guess
my mind immediately goes.
You're cutting out. I think he's frozen.
Oh boy. Okay. Well. Okay. Well. That. We'll see if he comes back. If not, we can wrap up the show.
I hope he comes back.
Yeah, that'd be great. So about Squash the Splash moving forward, we would like to. I guess in a perfect world, it'd be its own show. But for now, it's going to be a part of the sports.
He said his internet.
So hopefully Tixa can join us again.
And, yeah, we would like to make it its own thing at some point.
Yeah, I got no idea. Okay, he's back.
Okay, we got you.
All right, we're back.
All right. As the guest, you can take the first guess on which team.
So I was thinking the Browns, so that's what I'm gonna go with. But,
okay. Does the Splash get a chance to answer, or is that?
I guess let him know if he's right or wrong, and then I can steal it.
All right. Yeah, you can steal it. That is not correct.
I'm gonna roll with the Dallas Cowboys.
No, the answer was the 2000 New York Jets.
Ooh. Huh. How do you screw up 4 first-round picks?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look that one up at some point. All right, hit me, Jack.
I'm gonna skip this third one because this one's too easy.
Okay.
Which QB has thrown pick sixes in the most consecutive games?
It should be Matt Schaub.
That's correct.
Former Raven.
How do you just know that?
Because he did it with the Ravens.
Of course.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Or it's like the time I joined Dan's trivia episode and he asked who had the most 500-yard games. And it's like, obviously Ben Roethlisberger because he did it to Baltimore 2 years ago. And that was like the iconic game. All right.
Okay. Next question.
Let me update this. I'll do a scoreboard.
What is the record of the most sacks in a game? By one player, I think. Is what is implied here. I don't think you have to guess the play. If you guess the number, we'll count it.
I think it's...
Or by one player.
4, right?
No.
Okay. We can iron out this later, but Derek Thomas had 7 with the Chiefs against Seattle in 1990. They ended up losing the game, but
they did. But that's correct. That is absolutely correct.
How do you get 7 sacks in the game? Like, who was guarding him?
That's a good question.
It's called 1990s offensive line.
Pretty much.
All right, let's hear it. Question number 2 for me.
Okay. We're gonna make this one. We're gonna make this one a multiple choice.
Okay.
The text is bigger, so just give me a second so I make sure I'm reading this right.
Okay.
How many QBs selected in the first round of the draft since 2006 have won a Super Bowl? A, 4, B, 6, C, 5.
Okay, since 2006, first round quarterbacks. Is this as a starter or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh Lord. Okay. So, 2008 Flacco. Yeah, we're gonna have to do like a time limit on this.
This is kind of incorrect actually.
2008 Flacco.
I guess it counts actually. I don't know. Whatever. If that's a hint at all.
Blaine Gabbert with Tampa. That's 2. Technically, I'm I'm gonna go A 4.
That's correct. It's Mahomes, Gabbert, Flacco, and Carson Wentz is on here. Although Carson Wentz technically, do you want to count him part of the team?
Yeah. If Gabbert counts, Wentz counts. I totally blanked on Patrick Mahomes. That's
I was like, how did he forget Patrick Mahomes? That just happened.
Wow. It's like, well, I mean, Flacco, I guess, and then I jumped to Gabbert. It's like, what?
Yeah. Okay.
All
Here's
right.
a Teeksa question. Which team? Multiple choice. Which team won the? No. I was reading the wrong one. Which team had the first overall pick in the draft? A, Falcons, B, Chiefs, C, Eagles.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know this, so it's just gonna be a guess. Let's go with the Falcons.
It was not correct. I almost blew it there. Splash.
It would be the Philadelphia Eagles. They took Jay Burwinger,
All right, then.
the first Heisman Trophy winner as well.
Yeah.
He's never played in the NFL though. I think 19. I want to say
Splash is just flexing on you right now, man.
I don't know any of these questions. I'm not very good with this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, in fairness, I can't do that with every question you ask. All right. Give me one more. Let's see if I can go 5. 5
All right.
for 3 for 3 on mine and 2 out of 3 on steals.
Let me find a different one here.
I don't know how the Jets had 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, that was ridiculous when I found that out.
I'm gonna have to ask Nick or Frankie about that one.
How many Mr. Irrelevants have won the Super Bowl? Not a multiple choice.
Oh my goodness. I think it's 1. Ryan Suckup.
Okay, the number was correct, but the player is not. So
No, was it not Suckup? I guess
I don't. Do we want to make him answer the player, or should we?
I mean, I guess you just asked. I guess you just asked how many, and I said 1.
Yeah. The answer was Mr. Steven Gostkowski in Super Bowl, whatever LV means, 55, whatever. Okay.
Hold up. What? Gostkowski wasn't.
That's what it says. Probably misinformed.
I think 1 is correct. Let's see. How many?
That's just what it says. I didn't write these for the record, so
relevance.
We could have some wrong answers. I don't know.
Won a Super Bowl. It was Ryan Suckup.
It was Suckup. Okay. I don't know why it says Gostkowski, but it was Suckup.
All right. Well, thank you for playing, Teeksa. I'm sorry it didn't go super well for you. And to our viewers, we're gonna have a more refined process moving forward.
Thank you though for helping us debut this segment that we tried. Definitely a trial and error type of thing, but we'll get better from here. So
for sure. So thank you for hopping on. Appreciate all the love and support you give in the comments. Appreciate you tuning into all of our shows. So thank you, sir, and I'll see you in the group chat at some point.
All right.
All right, let me throw up the brand and we will wrap it up. One of our longer shows.
We will have this cleaned up by next week. I think Javier who wrote our questions. Shout out to him for writing all these questions. I figured 1 or 2 would be inaccurate, so not his fault. It's a lot, but we'll get it fixed.
That happens, absolutely. So anything you want to touch on before we wrap it up? Actually, I'm going to grab a tweet real quick. So
grab this tweet.
Yeah. This is a banger tweet. You saw it. I know you saw it. So might take a second for me.
I hope I did. I don't know if you showed it to me or not. But...
I think you were tagged on it. Let me find it.
Oh, yeah, I know what tweet you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly what tweet you're talking about. Oh, darn.
I got in a Twitter argument earlier today, so it's all the way back in my mentions. Oh, I hate arguing on Twitter.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I'd rather argue on U Stadium. Oh, speaking of, the MLB All-Star Game ballot, Salvador Perez was just flat out incorrect. Teoscar Hernandez, as much as I love Teoscar, was just totally incorrect. And as much as I like Aaron Judge, just wrong. Cedric Mullins, Byron Buxton should have been All-Stars. And then, Yeah, then you throw in Judge, and then maybe Teoscar gets that 5th spot when you Judge and Teoscar would get the spots that Trout and Buxton vacate. But holy Christmas, that was bad. Your boy Max Muncy should have made the All-Star team over MVP Free. So honestly, just a travesty. Get better, baseball fans. Like, why are you voting?
Seriously.
Like, Freddie Freeman, I have the bobblehead. I have the MVP bobblehead. I am a Braves fan. He has no business starting in the All-Star game. And I just screwed up the screen share. Like, are you genuinely having a laugh, Major League Baseball fans?
I think they are.
I
absolutely think a lot of
was phenomenal. He's a guy that is MVP caliber this season, and Freddie Freeman's not actually playing very well. With that said, I'm gonna throw up this tweet, and then we will be wrapping up the show. We're up at the hour and 30-minute mark. Holy Christmas!
We've been going. I think the Stanley Cup final game is actually about to start.
Yeah.
This is us.
Shout out to Austin. He's in the chat every show. This is us in about 2 seconds. Yeah, well, yeah. I'm surprised my mom doesn't get mad at me and call these gang signs, or my grandmother. Shout out to my mom.
It's just peace signs. We always say peace. One of us always says it. So.
Finger guns. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. A long show today. We're gonna have a banger next week too. Yeah. With that said,
keep an eye out tonight. I'm not 100% sure about tonight, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna go live. There's been some stuff coming up, so we don't know if we're gonna have a reaction show to the game 3 of the finals tonight.
Yeah, my voice is dying.
Yeah. We'll see. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't, but we'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
So just stay tuned.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the U Stadium YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Follow what Jack does, U Stadium NHL. It's some good stuff. Follow U Stadium NBA, U Stadium MLB. The main account, of course, is U Stadium NFL, but it's just U Stadium. Follow U Stadium Soccer. Javier does awesome stuff both on the Twitter and on the Instagram. And again, if you haven't joined the U Stadium app, it's pretty easy. Just head to the App Store. I actually got a new phone case, so that was pretty cool. Head to the App Store, download U Stadium, USTADIUM.
It's at the top of the screen. It's at the top of the screen.
It is? Yes, it is. It's really small text, though. But hey, join the U Stadium app. Join the discussion. Call me a moron. Call Jack a moron. I wish I could give you points, like 500 points to whoever calls us a moron first, like 250 each. That'd be pretty cool. So if you're still listening, and you at Splash, you're a moron, or at Jack Mitchell, the right Jack Mitchell, at Jack Mitchell, you're a moron. I might get Frankie to send you 250 points. So if
I'll follow that. I'll take it like a man.
Yeah, if you're here an hour and 32 minutes in, I think you deserve some points. Yeah, with that said, thank you guys for watching. Jack, thank you as always. And we will be back on July 9th. Hopefully the All-Star game ballot, like the full All-Star game, will be revealed at that point. Might be a little bit later.
It's July, man. We're getting our training camp, I think, is this month.
Yeah.
We're getting into it, so.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Hey, and I think I'm going to have to send some points out to Tixa.
All right.
All right. With that said, peace out, folks.